News. We are live on Pan African Television. We are also live on Facebook at Pan African Television, on YouTube at Pan African Television, as well as 48 African countries. You can join in the conversation by sending in your views, comments, and contributions on our WhatsApp text line. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Don't forget to leave your suggestions, questions, contributions, and all of that on our socials, especially on Facebook, and I'll be reading those messages out for you. My name is Justice Opia, and tonight on Hot News, the flag bearer of a new patriotic party, NPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has announced plans to make mobile phones more accessible and affordable to everyone in the country. In a post shared on X by an account known as EDHub, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was heard saying the new patriotic party government will collaborate with mobile phone companies to provide affordable smart devices to the public. Quote, "We will make access to mobile phones affordable. We will partner the mobile phone companies to provide phones to the public so that every month you pay 1 cedi. By the time you finish paying the phone becomes yours," he noted. The government's plan to make mobile phones affordable for all Ghanaians is expected to accelerate the country's digital transformation, enabling more citizens to access digital services and participate in the digital economy. Now, let's listen to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia when he was making that particular promise. We'll be right back.
We will make access to mobile phones affordable. And the mobile companies, you're betting Kata in Kitaho. Now, the mobile phones, Amanipa, not Mafia, what we are 1 city, 2 cities, 1 city, 2 cities, Kakaka, Namotia, mobile phone before 80, scheme, air, Obia, because we need everybody to have a smart device. We will make it easy for people. We will make access to mobile phones affordable. And the mobile companies, you're betting Kata in Kitaho. Now, the mobile phones, Amanipa, not Mafia, what we are 1 city, 2 cities, 1 city, 2 cities, Kakaka, Namotia, mobile phone before 80, scheme, air, Obia, because we need everybody to have a smart device. We will make it easy for people.
So that was Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and flag bearer of a new patriotic party. It seems the Vice President is already on a promising spree. He's promising heaven on earth. But a lot of people are asking various questions about this particular promise. That you are promising to get Ghanaians to purchase phone and pay on monthly basis, and they are paying as low as 1 Ghana cedis every month. How feasible is that? We'll delve into the feasibility of this particular policy or initiative that the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, would want to implement if given the nod in the 2024 election. But the question is it mobile phones that the good people of Ghana need, Ghanaian youth? Is it mobile phone that we need, or jobs? Policies are preferred. Policies are made to solve some particular problems. What is the exact problem this policy seeks to solve? What is the exact problem this policy seeks to resolve? In any case, the youth of this country are seriously in need of jobs. Under former President John Dramani Mahama, we had unemployment rate being at 8.something%. As it stands now, it's hovering around 14.something%. It tells you that the rate of unemployment in the country is really going up. So it tells you that the good people of Ghana are in need of a solution to the unemployment problem in the country. The vice president, who is leading the New Patriotic Party, to have the good people of Ghana vote for him, is rather not talking about the rate of unemployment and the fact that unemployment is becoming so rampant in the country. Rather, he's talking about every single Ghanaian getting a smartphone. Smartphone for what? Don't you think that if the youth of this country, they get a job, they are able to afford these mobile phones that you were talking about without necessarily, getting them to get the mobile phones on a high purchase where they'll be paying a monthly fee of 1 Ghana cedi. But the question is, Justice Appiah, my taste for mobile phone is that high, so I would want to use iPhone 15 Pro Max or Fold 5 Samsung, which is about 25,000, or iPhone probably will be around 17,000. And you are telling me that you go into an agreement with companies, mobile phone companies, to give phones out to the good people of Ghana, and then they'll be paying 1 cedis every month. Assuming that Justice Appiah, I go out there and then I get iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I would have to be paying 17,000, in bits every month. I would have to be paying 1 Ghana cedis. Mind you, just calculate it and tell me how many years it will take Justice Appiah to finish paying 17,000. It just doesn't make sense. Let's call a spade a spade. This is a useless policy, a policy that does not make sense, a policy we don't need as a country. I mean, I would have my take on this particular one because I'm a Ghanaian, I'm a youth, somebody who sees the ordinary youth, or the ordinary Ghanaian, the Ghanaian youth, coming out of school without a job. And the problem is we are looking for well-meaning jobs. I mean, jobs, decent jobs for the good people of Ghana. Vice President of the Republic, flag bearer of a New Patriotic Party, leading a political party like a New Patriotic Party. You had the platform to speak to the good people of Ghana and tell them what you would offer when you're giving the nod and you're talking about, making mobile phones accessible to the good people of Ghana. What sense does this policy make? It simply do not make sense, Dr. Bawumia. This policy seeks to solve no problem. I think that politicians should stop taking us for granted. The fact that there are promises in politics and you've done it sometime past and you've had the good people of Ghana voting for you doesn't mean that this time around it works. We don't have sand in our heads. When you talk, we listen. We take decisions, and the decisions are going to be taken based on the kind of things you're telling us at the polls. And so we are looking for solutions to our problems, not those that will compound our problems. That's my take on this particular one. I've been joined in the studio by Mr. Solomon Owusu. Mr. Solomon Owusu is a member of the Movement for Change, a former member of a New Patriotic Party. Also, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me here, and good evening to your cherished viewers and listeners. And I always want you to, as it were, mention the fact that I was with the New Patriotic Party. It gives me that joy to be able to discuss dispassionately issues to do with the party and also Ghana as a whole.
Right. Thank you so much also for your submission. Sorry for that one. Also in the studio with me is Alhaji Halidu Haruna, a member of the NDC communications team. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, my brother. It's been a while.
It's a pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
Right.
Thanks for the opportunity. And Solomon, it's refreshing to hear his preliminary comment and then asking you to link him always to his mother party so that at least it will give him that credibility to be able to speak on issues. I think that I've engaged him a couple of times and I want to say that he has not shifted from his positions. And I keep saying that when you support a political party and that political party decides to veer off on the principles upon which you support that political party, there is absolutely nothing wrong to walk out of it, and that is just what they have done. And I want to encourage him. They should focus their attention in Ashanti region and make sure that those who claim they will not vote for a Teni or a Nodna certainly they are likely to pull those people to their side, because as we speak now, the New Patriotic Party have presented Teni that mostly people who are loyal to the MPP keep saying that they will never, and over their dead body, that they will vote for Teni. So I'm sure when they do much work there, they will certainly get those who have that kind of mindset to support them.
Right. That was Alhaji Halidu Haruna. I'll start with you, Solo, on the Vice President and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party's promise to make mobile phones accessible to all Ghanaians. And this is going to be done on high purchase, a situation where, Ghanaians would now have the opportunity to purchase phones and pay on monthly basis, but they'll be paying as low as 1 CD and 2 CDs and all of that. I'm sure you've listened to the tape, you've read it. Your take on that?
Thank you very much, and good evening to my brother Alhaji Halidu Haruna for his diabolics. You see, Justice, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is a vulnerable candidate.
Vulnerable candidate?
He's a vulnerable candidate.
What does that mean?
A vulnerable candidate is a candidate who really does not know what he's about. He is depending on the establishment here being the NPP structures. You know, he wasn't a politician, and so he has been introduced into an area that he has no clue. But hitherto, he was, as it were, hiding behind the political stature of Nana Akufo-Addo. Now he is in the front burner. He is in the front row, and so cannot be shielded. So what should have been happening now is the New Patriotic Party rather shielding him, rather providing leadership so that he will not be goofing. Remember, this is a candidate that has appointed close to 319 manifesto committee members. You know why he did that?
No,
well, he believes he has no clue about any sector. So I am appointing as many as 319 so that you give me clues as to what to say and what not to say. Ever since he appointed this committee, all of them have gone to sleep. They go to meetings, go and take tea, take the allowances and go to sleep. So the man is left with no choice than to go on his own accord. And that is why you are beginning to hear some of the promises coming out of this man. It doesn't surprise any Ghanaian anymore that Alhaji Bawumia will continue the politics of yesterday that enabled the New Patriotic Party to come to power. When I say the politics of yesterday, meaning the politics of lies, the politics of deceit, that every 2 months, 3 months, in opposition, this man was organizing lectures. If it's not Central University, the Central University that he was holding lectures from is now collapsed. It's not functioning as he used to.
Has Central collapsed? They are still there?
They are not functioning as he used to.
Okay.
The buoyancy of the university is down. Ashesi University, he was having lectures there, here and there. He was the one teaching us the relationship between interest rates and inflation and the depreciation of the city. And so gained that much confidence with people in academia. And the youth that thought that he was coming to do something, not knowing it was all theoretical. Having been given the opportunity, he has moved. But he believes that the Ghanaian is still gullible. And the Ghanaian will be gullible because there is a correlationship between poverty and gullibility. When people are poor, and that is why a lot of these pastors and sheikhs, they get vulnerable people. Because when people are hard up, when they don't have job, when they don't have money, when they don't have anything to rely on to feed, I'm telling you, whatever people that give hope to these people, they try to see them as God. And so Alhaji Bawumia has realized that and is capitalizing on that.
Okay.
The promise that he made in Solar Kabatuna, why do you think he made that promise?
Why did he make that promise?
Absolutely. So we go into it. First of all, he bashed minors, young people under the ages of 18 from these 3 constituencies and send them into a park. Now, the Solar Kaaba-Tuna constituencies are predominantly farming communities that everyone was expecting any reasonable candidate, a candidate that has a vision, a candidate that has long-term interest of this country at heart, to be talking about agriculture and nothing else. Because that is what the people are used to. So everyone was expecting Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia to be talking about how he was going to give the farmers in Solar Kaaba-Tuna combined harvesters, tractors, mowers, fertilizers, extension officers, and so on and so forth, so that they can improve their agriculture or farming business. He didn't say any of this because, like I said, and that is why I started by telling you that he's a vulnerable candidate. He is now expecting some sort of information from the manifesto committee. He only behaved as a vice president joking, so he has no idea what he's supposed to say. And so, as the information is not forthcoming, see the people there, he said, well, let me say something that will appease them. And like you rightly said, if you promise that you are going to give people mobile phones, what specific problem are you intending to solve with that mobile phone? What specific problem? In any case, the last time I checked, Alhaji Bawumia is not the business development manager of Vodafone or Telecel. Neither is he the business development manager for MTN nor Airtel. These telcos are independent private businesses. So what sort of partnership are you going to go into it with them? Is it the case that he's going to use our tax revenue to buy mobile phones for Ghanaians so that these telcos will rather benefit from it, or what? Is he smarter than the telcos that know the benefits of people having mobile phones so that they capitalize on the data that they sell? For him to come and promise that this useless and bogus promise, it tells you that he's short of ideas. And I have told you, I've said time without number, that a candidate without a plan. That's why anytime I come here, make reference to Alan Chamante's great transformation plan.
He gave a very tangible reason as to why he thinks that mobile phones would have to be made accessible. He says by providing affordable smart devices, the government aims to bridge the digital divide and ensure that everyone has access to the digital tools they need to succeed. The initiative is expected to increase access to digital technology and promote financial inclusion, building on the NPP government's ongoing digitalization efforts.
So is it a tangible reason for him to say that?
Is it not?
Of all the problems that the country is facing, the problem of joblessness, how is provision of mobile phones to these youth or Ghanaians going to solve the issue of, as it were, joblessness? How is it going to deal with the issue of inflation? How is it dealing with the high cost of tomatoes, onions, pepper, and so on and so forth? How is this going to deal with it? No, he got to be serious. You see, what is happening in Kenya? Today, Ruto, that thought he was above the law,
right,
is now on his knees begging the Gen Z that you have asked me to do everything, I've been doing it. Why do you still want to get at me? Why do you want to remove me? Now he's crying. Lead us not into temptation, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Lead us not into temptation with these your bogus promises. Me neighbor. That in the 21st century, we are being promised mobile phone. In any case, what sort of mobile phone? The last time I checked, yesterday I was asking from his people. One was telling me techno. So I said, okay, if it is techno.
But he wasn't specific.
No. So it is the same way. You know, he has been promising of a flat rate. The last time I told you, when the politician wants to deceive you, he says when he comes, he's going to introduce a flat rate tax. Is that not the case? What is flat rate? If it is his flat rate is 100%, he is not going to tell you because he knows that the gullible minds will just take it. Oh, Bawumia says when he comes, he's going to introduce flat rate and leave it at that.
Right.
But we will not ask him what rate, because every rate is a number, it's a figure. Is it 1% flat rate, 2% flat rate, 3%? But we are not asking. So he's getting away with a lot of nonsense. And it is making him to believe that Ghanaians do not probe further. And that's why he will tell us this. An average technophone, let's even assume that we will be going with techno. An average technophone is going for 1,200 cedis.
Yes.
Here is a man that is saying that every month we are going to pay 1 cedi, 2 cedis. So I finished elective maths on the 8th of December, 1997. So my mathematics, and I got A in elective maths.
Okay.
So you cannot deceive me.
You are good in maths.
So let's do a simple mathematics. And
go ahead.
Alhaji Baumesi, the point is that his PhD thesis, well, you do know it was on elections.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, yeah, he didn't do anything serious in economics.
Oh, PhD thesis on elections.
So 1 cedi, let's even say, he said 1 cedi, 2 cedi.
Yes.
So we take the average, which is 1.5 cedi. Is that not the case?
Right.
1.5 times 12. So every year I'm going to pay 18 cedi. Is that not the case?
Right.
Now I've told you the average price of Techno is 1,020. Let's even assume that there will not be any inflation. All things being equal. Because in economy that's what we say. So you divide 1,200 ceteris paribus divided by 18. So we are going to use 66. If you run in 67 years. What sort of? Where did we go wrong as a country?
So if you are already 40 years.
No, but why would he be he that is making that promise? You see, today if you listen to Amin Anta carefully, they have only deferred the problems of this country to the next president. Everything is said today. Oh, from 2026 to 2027, we are going to pay this. Why would Amin Anta himself be? Why would Baumia be? Why would Nana Akufo-Addo be in these years? They have only created problems for the people of this country, and they are going to chill in opposition. And I want to admonish Mr. Alan Chapati that do not allow these people to go and enjoy their booty they have stolen from the country.
In any case, it was the same man who promised that every Ghanaian was going to get a bank account if the MPP assumed.
You see, when I decide to discuss Alhaji Baumesi, it looks as though I'm giving him credit.
What has happened to that promise?
Not just that.
Which other ones?
But how many people are not sleeping out? Don't you need rent money?
Of course.
Don't I need rent money? Who doesn't need rental money in this country?
He also promised that they will pay rent for the good people of Ghana.
This man said Okada people, Trotro people, taxi drivers can swap their old cars and bikes for new cars.
So what has happened to those
because
promises?
He just say it. I've told you that whenever he says something, ask him of his plan.
You were with them when they were making those promises.
But the
and you supported it.
you see, let me tell you something.
What I've not seen anything.
You see, one of the problems we have, and our politics is evolving and developing.
Okay.
Sometimes when we come here, you pretend as though you never heard me when I was with the MPP. But that is fine with me. I have the capacity to deal with at least. Halidu was being frank with you. I was on various sets with him when I was with the MPP.
Yeah.
And when an issue comes, I was very straight to the point because I was taken to school not to be spewing nonsense.
Okay.
Akufo-Addo and Baumia, we pay them. They are not about the law. They are not bodies. So that me, I will go and defend nonsense. I don't defend nonsense in my life. And I don't support candidates because you came to me to support you.
Right.
I support people based on my conscience, based on my intuition, that you can do the job.
Okay.
You get my point?
Right.
This was a man that promised that by 2020, Ghana will get back on paper. But when he says it, he himself forgets it. Do you remember him promising us that we were going to do e-food if everything E? If it is not dancing, it is singing. If it is not singing, it is mobile phone promise. Now you have turned yourself from an economist to an IT person to now a tiptoe phone dealer. What are we doing here? What sort of life is this? When the country, today, the Minister of Finance was crying, virtually crying, but that guy too is not serious. We did not put you there to come and empathize and sympathize with this. You understand? Your Minister of Finance, instead of telling us how you are going to get out of these problems, was only empathizing with the people of this country. Because he knows that the head of the economic management, that happens to be the vice president of the land, who is the flag bearer of the NPP, who is supposed to lead with the innovations and policy direction, he has lost it. He is now promising mobile phones, leaving the helpless finance minister to his own fate. So,
kindly step down.
Don't worry yourself about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The good thing is that we have less than 5 months to mark his paper. You see, the election of 2024, every election is a referendum on your performance. Today, he can be passing people around and be giving them 50 cities to go and cheer him up. But I can assure you that on the 7th of December 2024, when the Ghanaian takes the ballot paper is given to the Ghanaian and sees the face of Mahmoud Bawumia and anybody on the ballot, the Ghanaian will remember what Alan Chimanti told them about the Great Transformational Plan. That let us concentrate on agriculture and industrialization, stabilize the macroeconomic environment, and eschew arrogance of power as is being exhibited by these 2x4 people. They call themselves government appointees. 2x4. 2x4 people. We have appointed them. They want to lord themselves onto us. And that's how come it's shameful. People are laughing at us. Today I had some of my friend that I know in Afghanistan. He's in Dubai. He saw it because I had posted it on my wall. Then he sent me a message back saying, "Are you sure he's your vice president?" I said, "For Christ's sake, he's my vice president. But I didn't vote for him." He said, "No, you were with him. You were in his party." How shameful can we be?
How shameful can we be? That was Mr. Solomon Owusu. Viewers, you're still watching Hot News right here on Pan-African Television. With me, Justice Appiah. We are discussing the litany of promises emanating from the quarters of the Vice President and flag bearer of a new patriotic party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. There's a new one, and what is he saying? He's saying that, well, if he's given the nod, he will make sure that mobile phones are made accessible to the good people of Ghana, a situation where they will buy it on high purchase and we will be making monthly payment of 1 Ghana and 2 Ghana cedis. Well, let me come to you, Alhaji Halidu Haruna.
Thank you very much. Let me say good evening to our cherished viewers.
Right.
And Justice, I have observed something about the new patriotic party. It appears they have no respect for the Ghanaian people.
How? If you say they have no respect,
they have no respect for the Ghanaian people. First of all, the reason being that for them to even to present Bawumia in the first place, it tells you that certainly they do not even appreciate
what is it
the
about
enormity
Dr.
of the
Mahmoud
problems
Bawumia?
in this
He's
country.
qualified, he's sound,
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia
he's everything that could be a
carries
in this
a baggage that placed on anybody's head will collapse that individual.
Okay.
This is a man who openly made a declaration that the Cape Coast people, we are building an airport for you. We are building, not that we will build. He said they are building. When the flag bearer was asked, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he said it's not true. He doesn't know anything about that promise. And you have this character being presented to the people of Ghana to be voted for. Do you expect anything different or big, anything sensible coming from him? Not too long ago, I've listened to him on a platform claiming that he wanted a debate with the flag bearer of the NDC.
Yes, he requested for
and that the people around the flag bearer are saying that he will not participate in the debate. And for him, he would have exposed the emptiness of the policies advocated by John Dramani Mahama. And he went further to even insult John Mahama that he is empty. Now, you take this promise and place Bawumia in the word empty. It's a true reflection of that word he used on John Dramani Mahama. Now, policies.
How wrong is it for every Ghanaian to have access to a mobile phone?
You prefer a policy to address a challenge within your country, society, community, etc.
True.
The question that Bawumia must be explaining to us or answering, what assessing mobile phone will address, what problems, critical problems he wants the assessment of mobile phone to address.
Bridging the digital divide, the gap.
So you have not eaten. And the priority of the one who is saying, entrust your destiny into his hands, is to get a mobile phone. Meanwhile, you go angry. The whole day, you have not even been able to eat once. And what he's telling you that he's going to make mobile phone available to you. Is he going to pay for the data? Is he going to pay for the chip that you are going to, when you do not have work to do? You see, I listen to the MPP carefully, and sometimes I wonder whether they have attended, the school they attended is a different school all of us attended. They always want to tell us that they are superior in knowledge and understanding than any other Ghanaian. You listen to them, they said that the proposal to run 24-hour economy, it's not possible. The NDC people cannot explain. Let me ask. I asked the question this morning. Is it the 24-hour they don't understand, or the economy is what they don't understand? Go back to their first reactions when John Mahama announced the 24-hour economy. Now, when you are proposing a policy, you are looking at the short, medium, and long-term issues that policy will address. Proposal for citizens of this country to get mobile phone. What problems in the short term do they intend to address? In medium term, do they intend to address? And long term, do they intend to address? The flag bearer of the NDC is proposing 24-hour economy. Why? Because a number of young men and women are coming out of our schools.
Right.
You have a situation where you have the MPP are saying that they have provided free senior high school to a majority of the young men and women in this country. They are going through the university and coming out and carrying their CVs under their armpit, moving from offices to offices without job, without any available opportunities for them. And you have a flag bearer who sits and said, okay, looking at the challenges of youth unemployment increasing from 8.4 under my leadership to 14.7, it is important we need to do something about it. Because it's a potential danger to the peace and stability of our country.
Right.
And therefore, he said, okay, instead of us getting 8-hour work, going to work 8 hours, we need to run. We segment this economy. 3 shifts. You have those who go morning to 2 o'clock, from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, from 7 o'clock to the next morning, so that we create opportunities. Those coming from school, if you need more hands to run this the morning shift, you need another hands to run the shift afternoon and then the evening shift. And you have the New Patriotic Party. They are parachikis going out there saying that we don't understand. And do you know why they are doing that? When the policy was announced, their first reaction through Dr. Bawumia himself was that, oh, chop bars are running 24 hours.
Pharmacy shop.
When you go to La Paz, they are running 24 hours. Pharmacy shop around something you said you don't understand. And you are telling the Ghanaian people it exists. If you don't understand, how come that you appreciate that it exists? When they realize that people are beginning to accept that policy, they decide that, oh, you know what we do? Let's ridicule it. Even whatever explanation they will provide, let's still throw doubt in it. And that is the kind of game plan that, and for their flag bearer, who is saying that creating space for youth of this country to get job to do is a useless thing, it's not a policy. he is proposing mobile phone to the unemployed youth. There is a Chinese saying, now don't give me fish, but teach me how to fish.
Okay.
John Dramani Mahama is saying that he will not give you fish, but he will teach you how to fish. In fact, under his leadership, and I keep saying that the one with the track record is the one the good people of this country should look at.
Okay.
John Dramani Mahama, under his leadership, when he realized that the pharmaceutical companies have challenges in terms of productions, and they lack the finances to be able to expand, what did he do? He made available $50 million to be given to each of the pharmaceutical companies in this country, the NS Chemists, the Kina Farmers, etc., for expansion. Under the agriculture, when he realized there's a problem, low production in cocoa, he sat back and said, no, let's provide farm input to the farmers. So he decided to make fertilizer supplies free for the farmers to address that. And we saw the increase in production in cocoa, close to 1 million.
Right.
They came and said, no, that policy, they are changing, they are reviewing it, they change it, and then they are selling, they decided to sell it. Today, we cannot even do 500 tons of cocoa. John Dramani Mahama, under his leadership, he realized that within the poultry farm, there are difficulties. What did he do? He decided through the Agric Ministry, he says that let's provide them with day-old chicks so that they can get it affordable and be able to do it. He sat down and looked at the problems with importation of rice. Huge sums of money, foreign exchange going out and creating job opportunity in other countries. And he said, no, let's do something about it. The local rice, it appears, the Ghanaian people appears not to be interested in the local rice because they are used to the foreign rice. Let's go and get the seed from the foreign seed, the foreign rice seed, and let's make it available to the farmers. Let them produce it within. On the basis of that, the reduction, we were able to reduce the importation of rice in this country. He did not stop there. He decided to look at sugar production, sugar importation. And he said, look, let's go and revamp the Commander Sugar Factory. He got the loan from India. The factory was actually revamped. And the next phase of it, we lost election. These people came and they said, no, business as usual. Let's abandon it and let's look. So, you see, leadership is about addressing the teething problems of the people.
Okay.
I, as I sit here, I would never in my life, ever, and quote me anywhere, I would never go and vote for somebody that I am entrusting my destiny into his hand, that I do not have trust in him. Quote me. If I have no trust and confidence in you to address, I will assess you as a leader. How trustworthy are you? Can I take your word to the bank? Is your word certain that I've been trustworthy? Why would I go and trust my destiny in the hands of somebody who is very deceptive? Somebody who is dishonest?
Are you saying that the vice president is dishonest? Is deceptive?
There are evidence are abound.
What's the evidence?
Why? I just mentioned the declaration he made to the Cape Coast people that they are building an airport.
Okay.
That's a complete lie.
Okay.
You have a man who is saying that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. When the exchange began exposing him, he went to a same program, a program he organized, and he said, in fact, when you look at the facial expression of Alan Chiramanti and Professor John Balfour, they were confused because these are renowned economics and they understand some of these basic jargons. And so when he decided to go back and say that the fact that he said exchange rate will expose you, you cannot conclude that the fundamentals are weak.
It will be a warp logic.
What kind of double standard is this? Okay. And you are telling me as a Ghanaian whose destiny, I value my own destiny, and to entrust it in the hands of an individual or a leader, I have to do it so that at least I know that person is trustworthy. This man Bawumia. Was he not the one who said that $1 million per constituency, that money has been made available? He said that at Cape Coast, Sedicom in Cape Coast. That was when he made that declaration.
Right.
And he was urging constituents to go for that money. Otherwise, when they leave that money, they will squander the money. You belong to a constituency.
Okay.
Can you ask or find out from your member of parliament if ever, from the time they assume office, $1 has dropped into an account of the constituency? He is the one leading that advocacy. The same person, they promise us one dam, one village. Go and find out the kind of things they have used the money for. And the minister was bold to tell us that the amount of money that were made available to her, what kind of dam do they expect, or do we expect her to build? You have sunk so much money, wasted the resources of the country, and to even make matters worse, over 58 million sunk in that big hole. And you have an MPP with courage, even going around saying they are campaigning. And I ask the question, is it that they are taking the silence of the Ghanaian for granted? Or they are thinking that the Ghanaian is not thinking, or he doesn't see? Today, as we speak now, there is a World Bank report that has estimated that by 2025, 33% of the Ghanaian will be under extreme poverty. Not poverty, extreme. 33%. And the only solution that Bawumia is proposing to address the issues of poverty and unemployment is to make available mobile phones. Did you hear the response of Dr. Dufo?
What did he say?
When Akufo-Addo said that Sika Mpedede, he responded to him. He said, yes, Sika Mpedede nanso ekom efre dede. So somebody who hasn't eaten, what business does he have with a mobile phone? I have not eaten. In fact, mobile phone is a luxury as far as I'm concerned. I have no food to eat and I'll be thinking of mobile phone. Survival. The first law of kind of life. First law. Survival first. You survive first before you then be looking for those things. When you don't have what will survive you, you have not provided what will survive the Ghanaian people, the young men and women of this country. You have increased the unemployment rate from 8.4% to 14.7%, and you are not thinking a way out of that. You are thinking of subjecting them to abject poverty by giving them mobile phone, so that they cannot even afford to get the data, which is much more expensive today. Today, data is competing with fuel in our country. And that concept of digitization, we have moved from this, we have this. That is a scam. The man Bawumia, we were told, was brought as a running mate to Akufo-Addo because of Akufo-Addo's deficiency in appreciating economic issues. And he said, that man has what it takes, because as a deputy governor of Bank of Ghana, he helped Akufo to do the redenomination and stabilize the city. Those were the things they said. Ghanaian people, I beg of you, go back and reflect on those issues. And then I am sure you'll come to the impeachable conclusion that the MPP is not a political party that you should go and vote for. I am saddened by the fact that we have refused to scrutinize political leadership in this country. And today, as we speak now, the kind of courage they have, and they continuously insulting the intelligence of the people of this country. You are seeking to lead, and you continue to insult. No serious person will go seeking for the mandate of the people, will stand on the stage and be dancing. Today, I was listening to a businessman saying that the depreciation of the city has eroded all their capitals. Today, those who are engaging in business in Abusokan, my beloved constituency, are crying because all their capital has been eroded by virtue of the fact that city is not stable. And the head of the economic management team did not see the need to be serious on the platform and speak to the conscience and minds of the people. He goes dancing and even teasing them, adding more insult to injury. I do not think.
I'll come back to you.
In any civilized country, the MPP being led by this man will be taken serious. And I'll be surprised if the people of this country decide to give them even 30%.
Right.
I'll be so surprised.
That was Alhaji Halidu Haruna. Let me do some few of our messages and I'll come back to you and Solo. This one says, Mr. Host, in 2016, President Mahama told the whole of the country that he is not a magician to give us jobs, but now he is promising us jobs. Is it now a magician? All right, thank you so much for your message. This one says, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is a fraudster, at the same time a liar. He wants to chop Ghana's money by lying. Some communities are even there. They have no electricity, and you are giving them phones. Where do you think they will charge the phones? I'm King Haynes from the Upper West region. Wow, thank you so much, King, for your message. Justice, good evening to you and to your guests. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is confused. He's a confused mosquito from Aflau sent in that one. Thank you so much. This one says, good evening, Mr. Justice. Let's even take it that a Techno phone is 500 Ghana cedis and you are to pay 2 Ghana cedis every month. It will take up to 20 years to finish paying. Akologo Felix from Bolga, thank you so much for your message. Good evening, Pan-African TV. My name is Kabod from Nongwa. He says, mind you, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was chosen by the MPP not because he can help the country, but because they claim to prove that they are not tribalistic or a tribalistic party. So he should be, well, your message is not too clear, but thank you so much for that message. Good evening, Justice. Watching you live from Labadi. Honestly, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is not a trusted person, and he's also a failure. All right, thank you so much for your message. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the MPP are to find solutions to what they have caused so that Ghanaians will know that they have turned into a new leaf. Thank you so much for your message. I'm speechless because I asked myself, how did we end up here? Gershon from Agbosume sent in that one. Gershon, thank you so much. Please, is Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia serious at all? From Teacher Kojo. Thank you so much, Teacher Kojo, for your message. Please don't call the WhatsApp line. This one says, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is now a professional of beat dancer. Solo, anybody who has a funeral or wedding, you just invite him to come and dance. All right, thank you so much for your message. That's your vice president. That's our vice president. So don't forget, it was the same Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia who said he will abolish e-levy when he becomes president. Could it be that the mobile phones he is promising to give Ghanaians will be an avenue to all-inclusive e-levy payments? Safas from Bensu sent in that one. Safas, thank you so much. Why would you fight over a spoiled egg? Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia should go and debate the market women, the drivers, spare parts dealers, toll booths, collectors, NAPCO workers, and 2020 nurses, trainees who are sitting down in their various homes doing nothing. Ex-President John Dramani Mahama doesn't need to debate this failed and pathological liar. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia from James K. Saba. James K. Saba, thank you so much for your message. This one says, Mr. Host, the problem we have in this country is egalitarianism and elitism. The so-called educated elites we have in this country are not problem-solving elites. They always create huge problems that will essentially benefit them and their immediate family and unborn generation. The 4% increment on petroleum product will certainly have a ripple effect on standard of living and increase already excruciating hardship in the country. Ernest Everlove Kwashi and Dansoman sent in that one. George Obing says, good evening, Justice. Anybody who has hopes in Bawumia is hopeless, said George Ato. Ato Bosch, president of East Tanokrum, Ifie Kwanta. Thank you so much for your message. MPP has nothing to offer. The vice president is not winning. They will lose the election. He sent in this one from Kaswa. This one says, hey, so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia won't talk about how to post a 2020 batch of nurses and midwives, rather making fun of these poor unemployed youth. Thank you so much for that message. I have a lot of messages here, but I think that, so I'll give you 4 minutes. I don't know what you think of the policy, but perhaps Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the New Patriotic Party thinks that in this critical moment, in this, digital world, that is what the good people of Ghana need.
Like I said, he made that promise because he lacks policy. If you take my candidate, for instance, he is promising to establish Traders Bank. That is a credible policy because the traders in this country are crying that the sort of interest rate regime we are operating is not helping their businesses. So Alan has made it clear that given the opportunity, he will establish Traders Bank that would afford these traders a low interest rate.
Right.
My candidate is saying that the people of Abosokai, Swami Magazine, and so on and so forth that are into spare parts, they are having to pay huge port duties. So first 2 years, he will make sure that there will be no duties on spare parts. These are clear-cut timelines. First 2 years, it's off. Bawumia does not have this policy, so he will say he would give mobile phones. My candidate is saying that because of Article 70, Article 190, Article 195, Article 202, Article 205, Article 212, Article 232, that is permitting the president to be making appointments, for which reason bogus appointments are being made. This country is not being run well. So given the opportunity, he would amend the constitution. That is in the GTP. My candidate, Alan, is telling you that the Council of State, that seems to be toothless. Tell me what sort of benefits you are getting from this Council of State. Instead, my candidate says he's going to abolish it and introduce a second chamber where he would allow faith-based organizations, traditional authorities, professionals, and other bodies to be the nucleus of it. This is a clear cut. My candidate is saying that the problems in this country has to do with productivity, production, and that is why he's introducing the new agricultural revolution. How does promising mobile phone match or matches up with this policy? And that is why he's telling you that Operation Own a Farm, Justice, under Alan's administration, whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not, by the way, let me tell you how Tamid say he agrees you. And Toyib say he's sending you a lot of messages you are not reading. Your viewers are worried.
In fact, there are a lot.
Ishaka.
But
you know Tamid?
You
know Tamid?
Yeah, Tamid is my brother.
He's your brother?
So
I don't know Tamid was my brother.
I have a lot of messages here actually.
He is my bosom brother.
If you will give me a little bit of time to read some of the messages.
I need my time, I should ask you.
But I have a lot of messages here, a whole lot. A lot of people are
But
asking for your number.
why did you decide to take our people who are espousing the good deeds of Mr. Alan Kyerematen and rather decided to read messages that do not go in
You
half?
have 1 more minute to step down.
My candidate is saying that we need to focus on industrialization. My candidate is saying that given the opportunity, he will reduce the interest rate to a single digit. You understand? Inflation, he will deal with it decisively. This is a clear cut. It's a candidate that has that vision, that has that plan. Not Mahmoud Bawumia. I mean, by the way, have you forgotten he promised us of a blue economy? Why has he run away? This one to Tamisa, I should ask you. Why has Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia run away from a blue economy? A blue economy simply means the economy of the ocean.
Very soon he will come out with its manifesto.
No,
That is what we can question him as to whether,
don't worry yourself about this manifesto. It's a cut and paste.
If you see, we will see whether the blue.
Let me tell you, and I want to assure the New Patriotic Party, together with the manifesto committee, that any manifesto document they will bring, we will use a software called Turnitin. Do you know Turnitin? Turnitin is a software that is able to expose all plagiarism across the world. Remember President Kufuor's first attempt during his inauguration. Did he not plagiarize speeches that have been given by American president? That was why we got it wrong as a country. He couldn't be original. It is if he did. He lied, and because of that, the vice president lied. And so, Ghanaians and my viewers, Alan presents himself to you. Make no mistake that December is just around the corner. Thank God that you are still alive and your thumb is working. Go and vote for Alan John Kojo Kyerematen. That beautiful, handsome face will be on the ballot. Make no mistake. Why do you see Mahamudu Bawumia? Close it. The phones that is promising is a palpable falsehood. It's a lie.
Okay.
Don't follow it.
That was Mr. Solomon also. Can you take us on live?
See, even this scheme, when you go to the mobile telecoms,
right,
they have that system where you take the phone and then you pay in installment.
But you don't pay once a day.
You don't pay a day, like once a day. You pay in installment. So that system is there. So what is even saying?
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is saying that you pay once a day at the end of every month.
Every month, exactly. But
yes,
the
not on daily
telecom
basis.
one is what is it? Monthly. You pay monthly, but the amount is a bit reasonable because of the cost of the phone.
Right.
But you see, if we are going to be sincere in this country, and going to examine and scrutinize each of the political parties seeking power in this country, the New Patriotic Party will be the last political party to be even granted the opportunity to lead Ghana. Because over the years, they have caused more pain to the country called Ghana than they have resolved the problems. Why? John Dramani Mahama and Professor Mills, they have established 2 additional universities to the traditional university we used to have. You go to Sunyani and then you go to Hu. They've added that. What that means is that they have open space where those who have what it takes to be able to lecture will get the opportunity to lecture. The e-blocks he built, those e-blocks created space for students who are trained to come and teach to get opportunity to be employed. Go to the hospitals where he provided expansions and all kinds of infrastructure he provided. So this is a man with a track record saying that I will do A, B, C, D. Just go back and review his track record. It will leave you with any doubt in mind that he's the man to entrust your destiny into his hands.
Right.
If you are a young man, you are a young woman today watching us this evening, please don't listen to them. I had the opportunity of engaging a lady who participated in the MPP parliamentary candidate campaign launch in my constituency. After she came, she removed the shirt and put under her armpit. So I was seated and I was curious. So I called her, why did you remove the thing? And her revelation was profound. And I want to advise the MPP thinking that they would buzz people and mobilize and create an artificial crowd in order to use to steal this election. We are telling them that no human being will sit and allow his testicles to be actually stepped on twice. This election, is an election that will police with the last drop of our blood. Until we get these guys out, they will mess up this country. And the kind of problem they have created.
Truly African.